The Prince is back. Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to lineup predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. Newcastle play Southampton tomorrow afternoon, 3 PM kickoff live on BT Sport. Feels like ages since we've had a 3 o'clock game, so I'm fucking buzzing for it. Good time. It's a good time for football. 3 o'clock on a Saturday. How it should be. Southampton currently in 12th place in the Premier League, despite a heavy 9-0 defeat. A record tie-in Premier League defeat to Manchester United on Tuesday, where we also got beat 2-1 off Crystal Palace. We are now in 16th place, tied with 17th placed Burnley. Brighton's gone ahead of us now. Brighton and Burnley play each other on Saturday at the same time, I think. So we'll need to make sure we keep one eye on that one. Before we get into that team news, I'm going to set the like target, the last one for the Crystal Palace lineup prediction. I set a target of 250 and we absolutely smashed it with 336. Thank you very much to everyone for liking that video. I'm going to set the same one because it's an earlier kickoff. The other one wasn't till 8:15 at night, so I had a lot more time to surface on YouTube. Whereas this one, 3 o'clock kickoff, it's not going to have as much time. So 350 again, that'll be great. If we can surpass 300, then absolutely outstanding. Thank you very much to everyone supporting the channel lately. We are close to 10,000 subscribers, so don't forget to hit both buttons, like and subscribe. Lots to talk about on the team news from both teams, so obviously I'll start with Newcastle first. Brucey's press conference this morning. He's ruled out Captain Jamal Lascelles, Federico Fernandez, and Paul Dummett is struggling, and Jamal Lewis is a major doubt. Still hoping he pulls through, but he's done a hamstring injury. He contradicted himself, as he tends to do. He was one of the first names he mentioned. Lewis is out, and then he said later on, hopefully. So there's a hope for Lewis and a struggle from Dummett. So we'll see what happens with either one of them, but it's unlikely both will play along with Lascelles and Fernandez. Kieran Clark is maybe on paternal duties. His wife's in labour at the moment, so best of luck to them too. But they say we hope he'll make it, and no shit, we all hope he makes it. Congratulations, you're a new father, but we need you, Kieran. With Lascelles, Dummett, Fernandez, all of them out, Lewis as well, that back line is going to be looking mega shaky. He spoke of Matt Ritchie as well. He says he's more than capable of playing at left back. He may need to cover. With Lewis and Dummett out, there are 2 left back options, so Ritchie may need to step up. Yeah, Brucey says he's more than capable. He's played most of his Newcastle career as a left wing back anyway. He can do it. And he's more than happy to come back into the squad and give it his all after the failed transfer to Bournemouth. I think he wanted to go. Bruce said he's not very happy with his play time at the minute, which is completely understandable. He wants to be a starter, which Brucey can't offer him, which I agree. He's not really starting 11 material, squad rotation, 100%. But he didn't get the transfer, so he's just going to need to put his head down now, knuckle down, and just play on as we can until the rest of the season. He was also asked about Jacob Murphy, who's been omitted from the last couple of squads, as has Matt Ritchie. Neither one's been on the bench. Obviously, Ritchie with his speculation. And Murphy, there's been no talk about. He's been missing from the bench for the last couple of games, but a reporter asked him where he is, what's the fitness levels like with him. Brucey confirms that he's fine. Also says that Saint-Maximin is ready to start. He's been impressive over his last couple of games. They've just been trying to be careful with his fitness, of course, and after the Everton win, he says the Crystal Palace team picked itself really. Like I said, don't change your winning formation, don't change your winning mentality, your winning team. He didn't do that. He's been rotating a lot lately during the shitstorm. So we've got one good game, so it's understandable that we're stuck to that same starting 11. But now may be the time for Saint-Maximin. We need him back. If he's ready, get him straight in there. Joe Willock will also be available, our only January signing. He is involved now. He's only had 2 or 3 days training under his belt, so if it's from the start, who knows? Maybe we might need him with the injuries that we've got, so we'll look into that one. And also, Christian Atsu has been confirmed to have been promoted back to the 25-man squad after being out the entire season. With DeAndre Yedlin moving on to Galatasaray in Turkey, there was one more spot, a senior spot that we couldn't fill in. No transfers in to replace DeAndre Yedlin, so Christian Atsu is up next. On the Southampton front, obviously coming off the back of a 9-0 defeat to Man United, they've got a lot of injury problems, they've got a lot of suspensions. It's not as if the best, strongest starting lineup played that game. They had a red card within 80 seconds, the same time that Shelvey scored a goal for us, so they were down to 10 men pretty much the entire game at Old Trafford with half a starting 11, so it's understandable they got beat, and it wasn't helped by Jankovic, I think his name is, Jankovic, whichever one it is. He got sent off, so obviously he's suspended. Jan Bednarek, a big centre-back for them, he also got sent off, but his red card was probably correctly rescinded by the FA, so he is now available. Oriol Romeu, Yannick Vestergaard and Kyle Walker-Peters all missed that game through injury, but are back in training now. I think it's unlikely that they'll play, particularly Walker-Peters. Romeu might be further along, he may get a game, and Vestergaard's touch and go as well. They also have Theo Walcott, Diallo, Michael Obafemi, Smallbone, Teller, Salisu and Stuart Armstrong all expected to be unavailable. Not 100% confirmed yet, but that's a handful. Walcott, Diallo, Obafemi, Smallbone, Teller, Salisu, Armstrong, potentially Romeu, Vestergaard, Walker-Peters, and a suspension for Jankovic. That's a lot. They're lucky they've got Bednarek's red cards overturned because they could be fucked. One player that is available is Minamino. Their January loan signing from Liverpool. He is available to make his debut. Into the team there then, and in goal, I believe Caldala will keep his place. It's going to be an ongoing thing really now until something changes that will he lose his spot? Will Dubravka come back? It's 50-50 really, innit? It's a flip of a coin. Darlow just needs to keep performing. I don't think he made any mistakes in the Crystal Palace game. Conceded a couple of goals. Nothing he really could have done about it. Especially not the first one. Took a big deflection off Kieran Clark on its way through. So, yeah, for me, I think Darlow keeps his place until he really does something wrong. He's going to need to make some big mistakes to lose that spot. So, we'll just have to keep an eye on that in the coming weeks. Into the back line then, and at right back, Javier Manquillo should be keeping his spot. This right back roulette, right back bingo, I think that's pretty much out the window now. I think we've found a formation, we've found a personnel that fits the bill. Obviously, Yedlin's out the door now, so that's one less to go in the merry-go-round. Murphy with his fitness up in the air and not really a full-back. He can play as a wing-back, but I wouldn't trust him as a full-back. So the only options we really have at the minute are Javier Manquillo and Emil Kraft. But obviously, Manquillo's going to be the main man there. We might need to look out on a switch-up, though, which I'll get onto shortly. With the unavailability we've got with Lascelles, Fernandez, Dummett, and potentially Kieran Clark, if he doesn't make it, then I've got a backshift defence of Fabian Schär as the only fit centre-back that we'll have, alongside Isaac Hayden. I mean, Hayden does well at centre-back. I've always said that every time he covers as a centre-back. I think he's absolutely fantastic. It's usually in a back five, though, where he's got a few more bodies around him. He's a good centre-back. He's not amazing. I think he gets helped out when he's got a few more bodies there, like Schär or Lascelles or a Fernandez. If there's two more bodies with him, it makes up for his kind of lack of experience. So as a flat back four, I don't want to see Hayden there. He did cover there for the final few minutes in the Crystal Palace game, where Brucey just decided to take off all the defenders and throw on all the strikers. But we got away with one. We didn't concede any goals during them frantic few minutes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Hopefully Kieran Clark does play. I think we need that. Hayden's been an absolute rock in the middle of the park the last couple of games, where he's finally been pushed forward into the midfield. So he's a key player in centre mid. Don't want to see him at centre back. Fingers crossed Kieran Clark can make it. And at left back, as discussed before, probably Matt Ritchie. Steve Bruce was bigging him up in his press conference, saying that he is capable of playing there. They're still hoping on Jamal Lewis, but it doesn't sound good. And there's probably not going to be a Paul Dummett either. So Matt Ritchie probably is the best option. But as I was talking about Manquillo before, what we could see is him play at left back with Emil Kraft at right back. Even at previous clubs he's played for, like Liverpool, Sunderland, he's played left back a number of times. last season when we needed help there, like when Danny Rose was struggling towards the end of the season, when Jetro Willems, he covered there plenty of times and he does a decent job, so I've got no qualms with Manquillo playing there. In all honesty, I'd probably rather see him play there than Matt Ritchie. That's probably what I'd prefer to see. Manquillo on the left, Kraft on the right, as Ritchie as a full-back. Again, he's probably a better wing-back, so he can get forward and stick them crosses in. I think he's played as a left-back once or twice, and yeah, he's not as good as what he is as a wing-back. So that's something to look out for tomorrow. Into the midfield, playing a front three as well. We're going to stick with the same formation, 4-3-3, but with Hayden potentially in the back line, there's going to have to be a change here. John Joe Shelvey can keep his spot. He scored his goal the other day within 2 minutes. 80 seconds, I think it was. Captain the side as well, I believe, in the absence of Jamal Lascelles. John Joe Shelvey's been taking the armband. And it's a tricky one. I'm not entirely convinced by this lineup now with the injuries that we've got and stuff. We've got Joe Willock there to come in. We've got Matty Longstaff there. But I think Jeff Hendrick keeps his place. If we've got a spot less with Isaac Hayden, we all know Brucey's got a soft spot for Jeff Hendrick. Seems to be like his bum buddy or something. Fucking knows what the crack is going on there. Don't know if he's got a clause in his contract to say he has to play a certain amount of games or a certain amount of minutes, but like in fairness, he hasn't really been that bad. The Everton game particularly, I thought he was really good. Crystal Palace game, okay. First 20 minutes, good. The rest of the game, he chugged along. It was you know, it's Jeff Hendrick, you know, you don't expect miracles. You don't expect him to be fucking prime Iniesta or out. Like, he was okay. So because of the history it seems to have with Bruce starting him every game, I do expect him to go there. And on the other side, I would like to see Joe Willock, but I'm going to tip a little change here and say Miggy Almiron. I'd hate to say this, but for reasons going forward, I think there's going to be a change. So, yeah, Almiron's played there a couple of times. I'm not really his biggest fan as a centre mid. I think he finished the game there when, like I say, when we threw on all the strikers. We had to try and change things up. Fraser played as a right back. Hayden played as a centre back. I think Almiron filled in the middle spot with John Joe Shelvey. So yeah, he can play there, and it's maybe he's going to be Joe Willock, but he's only had 2-3 days training, so maybe wouldn't be chucking him in straight away. So Almiron is a centre mid with a change up top with the wide players. We're going to have Saint-Maximin on the right and Fraser on the left. Fraser's been fantastic the last few games. I think the Crystal Palace game was probably his best game to date. Absolutely unbelievable. And that's why I'm putting Almiron in centre mid, because he doesn't deserve dropped. He doesn't deserve dropped. He's been fantastic the last few games, but so is Fraser. And it would probably mean Saint-Maximin staying on the bench in that case. So maybe we're going to see Almiron, Fraser with Willock in the middle, Saint-Maximin staying to the bench. I don't know. Like, Brucey kind of tipped him to start. He says he's ready to start, but he also did that before the Crystal Palace game as well. So, I don't know. This one's a tough one. We're going to have to look out for this one. There's massive changes here. Like, who knows? Ritchie coming in at left back, Hayden at centre back. Will Manquillo be playing left back? Will Hendrick be playing? Almiron, Willock, Saint-Maximin. This lineup's hard. It's really a hard one. Obviously, Wilson up top. We'll finish it off the starting lineup with Wilson up top. Whether we're playing that front formation where Wilson plays on the right-hand side with Miggy or Saint-Maximin as a false nine is yet to be seen. Probably, maybe. We've done it the last couple of games. It seemed to have worked. So, yeah, maybe that's something else to look out for as well. On at the bench then, and just filling up some squad space. I've mentioned quite a few of them already. It depends. Some of them may start. Martin Dubravka, Emil Kraft and Jacob Murphy. Matty Longstaff, Joe Willock, and maybe Sean Longstaff. Brucey mentioned him in his press conference. Like, he's been pushed out of the team a little bit. He's going to have to wait his turn. He's missed out the squad the last few games, the same as Murphy and Ritchie have. Don't think it's through injury either. But Elliot Anderson may take that spot. He's been an unused sub for the last couple of games, taking his place with, obviously, Joe Linton, Gale and Carroll up front. That's my lineup anyway. Starting 11 and bench. It's up in the air. Who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. Let me know your prediction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give me a score prediction as well, and this is a really, really tough one. The match preview is out now on the channel with Dan from the Saints View. Here are our thoughts there. I also feature on his video on the Saints View, so go and check both of those videos out. My prediction was Heart 2-1 to Newcastle, Head 1-1. I think they've got a lot to prove after that defeat. And they are a decent team if they've got the likes of Vestergaard and players like that brought back into the team. So it's going to be a tricky one. We've got injuries. They've got injuries. We've all got injuries. So if it's a close game, 1-1, I'd take it. But at St James's, I think we can nick a 2-1 win. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy yourself.